So this is about the Ford assembly line in 1913. A school bus in Maine, United States, 1930. There's a couple at a fair in Mexico in 1940. Female volunteers participated in experiments where they were intentionally given a respiratory infection for research purposes. 1955. Once a week he shuttled between Chicago and Los Angeles. This is one of the first examples of super chefs, 1930s. The surrender of American troops at Corregidor, Philippine Islands in May 1942. When people were so inclined, this was one way to board and travel by blimp. Circus baby Yvonne Cruz is pushed in her pram by Cam, one of her mother's charges, on their arrival at Addison Road Station, London, from their winter quarters at Ascot in 1958. A helium-inflated Superman rises over Times Square to lead the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in 1940. The frozen Niagara Falls in 1912. Medical spacesuits from 1965 were created to help with childbirth. People thought they could even boost the IQ of newborn babies. Here's a picture of a Victorian woman laughing. People think it's from the 1880s. Camberley Kate and her stray dogs in England. She never turned a stray dog away, taking care of more than 600 dogs in her lifetime, in 1962. A housewife is taking frozen Long Johns off the washing line. It's the 1940s. The Tsar tank. This enormous Russian creation used its immense size to overcome obstacles. World War I. This is a warning sign for women at a shopping mall concerning their heels when riding the escalator from 1960. Ouch, 1940s. "18-year-old Keisha Thomas protects a fallen man, believed to be associated with the Ku Klux Klan, from an angry mob of anti-Klan protesters. This happened in Ann Arbor, Michigan, United States in 1996. It was by Mark Brunner. A pharmacist is mixing medicine. They're using a mortar and pestle. This was in 1923 on March 5th. Soviet Premier Khrushchev and first Indonesian President Suharto are sharing a smoke in 1960. It's February of 1942. We're at the Firestone rubber plant in Akron, Ohio. They're doing a conversion from beverage containers to aviation oxygen cylinders. Two boys going fishing in Texas, 1925. Chimney sweep. During his year as mayor of Bethnal Green, Councillor T. Brooks still intends to clean chimneys in the 1930s. The very first digital picture ever created in 1957 shows a close-up of engineer Russell Kirsch's son, Walden. It was a groundbreaking moment in imaging technology. A girl is learning photography and cinema in Bali in 1934. It was 1940. The Autoped was an early motor scooter. It was manufactured by the Autoped Company of Long Island City, New York, from 1915 to 1922. A Lithuanian book smuggler during the 1800s. Malcolm X, just kidding around with Muhammad Ali, New York, 1963. Marcia Pinkenfield, 6 months old, won a very unusual competition and was chosen as the most beautiful child in America in 1927. A barbershop sign announces special prices for the unemployed in Berlin, 1927. Civil War veteran Jacob Miller, a man who was shot right between the eyes and lived for 17 more years. Alright, United Artists Theatre, Los Angeles, around 1928. Claude Monet, the iconic French Impressionist painter, is seen with a visitor on a bridge in his beautiful Giverny garden in 1922. Alright, so we're looking at the Rush Medical College Lecture Auditorium in the year 1900 over in Chicago. A man in a cart drawn by an ostrich got a traffic ticket on Pico Boulevard near Harvard Boulevard in Los Angeles around the 1920s. Men whistle as a woman passes by, 1959. John F. Kennedy, who was 10 years old. Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, Princess Margaret and a bored Prince Charles watching the coronation ceremony of Queen Elizabeth II. Westminster Abbey, 1953. Althea Gibson, the first black American to win a tennis Grand Slam title, is celebrating at a parade honoring her. Sean Connery is signing a coconut for a little Jamaican fan on the set of Dr. No in 1962. It's a Communist Party USA meeting in Chicago, 1939. A group of boys are playing among the tombstones. This is in Gorbals, Glasgow in 1948. Alright, let's talk about roller skating during the 1930s. Chow is being served to American infantrymen on their way to La Roche, Belgium. It was the 347th Infantry Regiment, and the year was 1945. The year was 1942, and a riot broke out among Ford strikers. There's a creepy image of a Soviet scientist and his two-headed dog. This was from 1959. It was 1970. A group of young guys with an idea were getting together in a garage. They had a new vision for the future. They wanted to create something that would change the world. Elvis being sworn into the army. He's raising his right hand. There are other men around him in a room. He's wearing a suit. Morris Berg, born 1902 and died in 1972, was an American baseball player, a linguist, a lawyer, and a spy during World War II. During World War I, this church in France stacked sandbags throughout the entire structure to protect it. Martin Joe Lorello, the only man with a revolving head, appeared in Sam Wagner's Freak Show on Coney Island in 1938. Beautician Max Factor is here, with his invention, the beauty calibrator. It's a device designed to show which parts of a woman's face needed more or less makeup. It's only natural that Tom Hanks would go on to be the king of romantic comedies after graduating from Skyline High School in Oakland, California, in 1974. Just look how suave he was in his senior photo. October 22, 1962, President John F. Kennedy addresses the nation on the Cuban Missile Crisis. Safety first for this Miss Washington, D.C., August 8, 1936. Pilots of American 8th Bomber Command are wearing high-altitude clothes, oxygen masks and flight goggles in 1942. A newspaper boy rides his bicycle through the streets of San Francisco, delivering papers during the busy 1920s. San Francisco, California. The Eyes That Saw the End of the World, 1945. It's a European seaside holiday around the 1930s. It shows the rise of beach leisure between the wars and early rubber swim aids. So some GIs at the Rainbow Corner Red Cross Club in Paris, France are really excited. They're cheering after getting a special edition of the Paris Post. The headline on the paper reads "Japs Quit," and the year is 1945. American soldiers captured by communist forces in North Korea in 1951. After the armistice was signed, 3,597 American POWs returned home. 6-year-old wins the cranberry pie eating competition after eating a 10-inch pie in 15 seconds. 1948. These German kids are playing with worthless cash in 1923. A South Korean soldier is forcibly cutting a young man's hair in front of others. This happened during a nationwide crackdown on men with long hair and women wearing short skirts in South Korea during the 1970s. A model is trying on a spiral electric bra at the 20th International Show of Inventions in Brussels on March 13, 1971. A scene at a London railway station shows troops arriving while children who are being evacuated from London leave. 1940. Franklin Delano Roosevelt is using help to get out of his car. It's one of the few photos that show his paralytic illness. It was taken on the 24th of September, 1932. A German submarine sank a merchant ship in the Atlantic in 1915. There was flooding in St. Mark's Square, Venice in about 1910. Around 1913, a New York playground. Marble Arch Tube Station, 1900. Mother and Children, Spain, 1920s, photo by Antonia Rissa. A reader in a cigar factory in Tampa, Florida. He reads books and newspapers at the top of his voice all day long. This is all the education many of these workers receive. He is paid by them, and they select what he shall read. January 1909. New Orleans, 1950s. It seems there were lovers 2,800 years ago. The helmet belonged to an American soldier, and it had the inscription, "War is Hell" during the Vietnam War in 1965. A promising young photographer, 1880s. Wow, check this out. It's New York City, 1950s, but the people are wearing some seriously futuristic costumes. The traffic light in New York City in 1929 was red, green, and amber. The United States Army was practicing aerial bombing in 1921. The expanding fireball and shockwave of the Trinity explosion, seen 0.025 seconds after detonation on July 16, 1945. All right, here we go. This is a portrait of an unknown woman. She's got a pigeon in her palm. The photo was taken in New Athens, Ohio in the late 1890s. A man is in a sauna tub, 1955. The pictures show 16-year-old German soldier Hans-Georg Henke after he was captured by the US Ninth Army on April 3, 1945. A couple gets into their BMW Isetta through the front door in 1950. A woman stands on top of a pile of books. She's promoting book collections for soldiers fighting in World War I, which was from 1914 to 1918. In 1954, the traveller could install a relief bunk in his car, an aluminum cot that extends above the seats from front to rear. Commander Richard Byrd, wearing a specially designed leather helmet and mask, used during his flight from Spitsbergen over the North Pole and back. Opening day of the Empire State Building, New York City, 1931. A father and son are crying. They're saying goodbye to their relatives. The relatives are getting on a boat to Buenos Aires. They're looking for a better life because things are tough economically in Spain. This is happening in the port of A Coruña in 1957. A police officer is looking after an abandoned baby. The year is 1971. A dog holds onto a little boy as he tries to retrieve a ball in a river with his golf club during the 1920s. John F. Kennedy's funeral at the Capitol. In the Capitol Rotunda, a somber event unfolds. The flag-draped casket of John F. Kennedy rests on a catafalque. Dignitaries and members of the public are gathered. The Capitol dome looms above, a silent witness. Grief is etched on faces. The atmosphere is heavy with sorrow. A procession of people walk through the rotunda. They're moving past the casket. Mourners pay their respects. The event marks a moment of national mourning. This is a final farewell. Please, sir, my aperitifs, 1975. Billy the Kid, 1880. The 14th Dalai Lama, Tenzin Gyatso, was born in 1835 in Taktsa, Amdo, Tibet. Crau Farini, from 1876 to April 16, 1926, was an American sideshow performer. She was born with hypertrichosis and participated in 19th century exhibition tours throughout North America and Europe. The ship comes to rest on the beach at Asbury Park, New Jersey, 1934. A Parisian woman is with her cat in her cannabis garden during the 1910s